NASA's post-shuttle future, which begins next year, is one of the many crossroads facing the space agency. And today, President Obama nominated a veteran astronaut as the new head of NASA, a man with command experience in space and on the ground. He would also become NASA's first African-American administrator. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
Marine Major General Charles Bolden is no stranger to NASA. 23 years ago, he piloted the space shuttle Columbia, then followed with 3 more shuttle flights, commanding 2, including the mission that carried the Hubble telescope to orbit in 1990.
Liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery with the Hubble Space Telescope.
In all, 680 hours in orbit, all the while taking his enthusiasm for space to America's classrooms.
What is it about Earth that keeps us from being able to do lots of things sometimes? What's the big factor on gravity? What does gravity do? Keeps us on the ground.
General Bolden has always had his feet firmly on the ground. A product of segregated South Carolina, he secured an appointment to the Naval Academy with the help of a northern congressman, then went on to be president of his class. A decorated combat pilot, he flew more than 100 missions during the Vietnam War, then to NASA. On board his first shuttle flight, Florida Senator Bill Nelson.
He's a rocket scientist. He's an astronaut. He is a test pilot for aeronautics. He is a leader, and he inspires people to follow him.
Leadership is a theme Bolden speaks of regularly, as he did when he spoke to this group of students.
And I'm confident that you all know your stuff when it comes to technical kinds of things and machines and computers and all that. But the most important stuff that you're going to work with is going to be people.
NBC's Jay Barbary has covered NASA for 50 years.
Everyone within NASA I've spoken to has the utmost respect for Charlie Bolden. They think he's one of the smartest astronauts ever, but he also has the experience to command.
Bolden will take over as NASA is at a crossroads. The Space Shuttle fleet is scheduled to be retired late next year to make way for a planned return trip to the moon. Without its own spaceship, America will depend on the Russians for 5 years to ferry astronauts to the space station. In space this week, the crew of Atlantis talked about their hopes for NASA.
President Obama, is briefed by the new administrator on all the things that NASA does. I think he'll be incredibly impressed by the breadth of things that we do.
Now, a new leader for NASA and one of their own. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.